Only 39% of professionals negotiate a salary. Learn how 85% of those who negotiate actually get what they want. Be one of those. We all want to leverage our skill sets to increase our salaries and earn as much as we can. Well, as you're thinking of planning your career narrative and designing a career map, there are 3 considerations to elevate your earning. The first is the most traditional. You pick an industry and a company and you stay within that industry for as long as possible. And each year you receive a standard of living increase and you seek after promotions. It's a tried and true method and it works. But if you want to increase your earnings faster, what you want to do is to make your skill set and your perspective about how you add value to industries unique. You need to set yourself apart from others and be able to offer something that others in the talent pool can't. Often, that is by increasing a skill set that is needed within an industry, but people are unable to find among the talent pool. Perhaps with a software, or you can layer unusual combinations of skills and knowledge together. For example, let's say you wanted to be a chef. Well, obviously you would want to go to chef school to learn techniques to create flavor and depth of profile, even view food as artistry. To make yourself even more interesting or relevant, you might want to couple that with a business degree that gives you insight into supply chain management and accounting. So you're layering artistry with finance so that you can create a restaurant that has delicious food, but also remains solvent because of business principles. That's an unusual combination of skills or certifications that people can't find among a lot of candidates. And you can do that with almost any degree. The third way is to negotiate your salary. 39% of people this last year, according to CNBC, chose to negotiate a salary as they were being promoted or when they were entering into positions. Less than half are even taking advantage of an opportunity that is expected, but it can be threatening and scary, and so a lot of people don't. But let me give you a stat to kind of encourage you to just give it a try. Out of that 39% that did negotiate a salary, greater than 80% of those candidates were able to get some, if not all, of what they wanted to negotiate for. Negotiation takes practice. But if you will think about how you add value differently from others and approach the negotiation conversation from that perspective, often you can convince employers to offer you a little bit more because you can do work differently from others. There's a tool called a negotiation one-sheet. If you look it up online, you can find several. What that negotiation one-sheet does is it gives you insights into how to research your industry, what the range of salary would be for that company within a geographic location and that job position. Then it asks you to kind of think about hard questions. Why is it that you can justify the need for more earning? You never want to base it in the idea that you just need more money. Everybody does. So you have to base it in how you are going to do that work and solve problems differently than others. Are you able to increase profits, reduce costs, increase a client pool? Can you bring in a software or do analytics or design campaigns or create new products or strategies differently from others? When you go in and offer that promise of adding outcomes and skills, you can leverage that earning for a little bit more of that salary. Prepare for that conversation by putting together a negotiation one-sheet, set up a time for that conversation, and go for it. When you initiate the conversation, always go in and offer the target salary that you're hoping for. Go a little bit above where you're hoping to land, anticipating that there's going to be counters and you'll go back and forth and you'll end up somewhere above the initial offer, but a little bit lower than your ideal. Be able to counter reasons why someone might not think they could offer you that increased salary. For example, they might think because you're a new hire that you're not a proven quantity yet. How do we know that you're going to bring these outcomes to us? If you've thought about these hard questions, you can be prepared to offer a suggestion or a counter and say, well, why don't we table this conversation for 6 months down the road? And once you've seen how I can increase value, we can have this conversation again, and you can consider my counter then. It's very likely they're going to accept that proposal. But if you've thought through and made plans about how you might approach opportunities or conversations, you will be in a place of confidence to negotiate that salary. And if I might offer one additional recommendation, please offer a very specific salary that you would like to earn rather than a range. Often people will go in and say, I understand that the standard range for this position is between this number and this number. Unfortunately, you have given them permission to hire you at the low end of that range. It's a much more strategic idea to offer them a targeted salary within the range. It gives insight and perception that you have thought about your value and what your contribution is worth. And it gives them a strong place to then begin countering. Work through a negotiation one sheet, recognize how you add value, and practice. And then try to negotiate that salary and see if you can get just a little bit more. Learn how to promote your professionalism by increasing your sales skills. Click here to learn more from Dr. J.